Yeah, he's just making himself look pretty.
Yeah, there's locals coming.
Or at least that he doesn't eat his mustache anymore.
It's more, that's more the fact. Every time I eat a sandwich, I have like in the corner of my mouth some hair joining.
That's for lubricating the vocal cords.
Okay. Hi there. Good morning. So we're half of October now. I think so. And we're somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Morocco.
Yeah, on the way to High Atlas Mountains.
Yep.
Somewhere there, I think.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah,
So
ish.
it's been around 6 weeks since we recorded our last video. So it was high time to keep you posted a bit. So after the last one in Pyrenees, we went to the east coast of Spain. So for Agatha, it was one of her dreams to skydive. So we went to Empuria Brava, where they can jump 7 days a week, and the weather is most of the time good, so possibilities are good there. So we stayed there for a week on a nice camping, pretty much luxury, not what we're used to in our tent. We had small bungalow, so it was a very nice day, and Agatha finished her AFF course, so officially she's a skydiver now. It was a very fun week, very comfortable. The weather was perfect, so it was really a relaxing time.
For some, not
For me, it was a relaxing time. Yeah. So it was a great stay.
Felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. Pressure to break or retreat at every turn. Facing the fear that the truth had discovered. No telling how all this will work out, but I've come too far to go back now. I am looking for freedom, looking for freedom, and to find it cost me everything I have. Well, I am looking for freedom, looking for freedom, and to find it may take everything I hate.
I know all too well it don't come easy. The chains of the world, they seem to move in tight. I try to walk around it, but stumbling so familiar. Try to get up, but the doubt is so strong. There's gotta be a wind in my bones. I'm looking for freedom.
So it was a great stay. After Empuria Brava, we went further down the east coast to Valencia to visit a friend of Agatha's, Kasia, where we also stayed a couple of days in her apartment. She was so kind to invite us and to have us over for a couple of days, and we had the opportunity to celebrate Agatha's birthday. Yeah, I will not mention the number because then she'll get unhappy.
Yeah, but he always says that I'm almost 50 now. Yeah.
It's a fact. It's a fact. So we had a very nice dinner for Agatha's birthday in a very local restaurant, bar, I don't know how to call it. It was very basic, but the food was great.
Kasia
So-
was also kind enough to let us order or have some things shipped to her. So we got some packages from Poland. And by the way, ADV inside. Joris loves the socks.
Oh yes,
And it's
I love
super
the
quality
socks.
stuff. So Monia, well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So after that, we went further down to the Tabernas desert. Yeah, we stayed at Arne's place. He has like a small camping there. It's not open for the moment, but we just by coincidence we stopped at a supermarket to buy some bread and some supplies, and he recognized us from some picture on Facebook somewhere. He recognized the motorbikes, so he came up to us and he invited us to his camping. It was closed, but he said, "Yeah, you can stay a couple of days if you want." It's a very nice camping. Torturwüste, it's called. I think for now it's still closed, but if you give him a call on his or a WhatsApp on his phone, then I think he doesn't mind that you drop by and you stay a couple of days. It's very nice camping, very nice spot, especially with the motorbikes. There's a lot of off-road around, not too difficult, but very nice scenery in this Tabernas desert.
If
You'll-
somebody likes riding in the sand, that's a very good spot.
yeah,
And also there are like some gravel roads through the nearest mountain passes.
yeah,
so
very beautiful, very, very beautiful. And the sand is not this like white sand like in the desert, but it's like this gray, black gray sand. It's fascinating, and the rock formations are very beautiful there. It's also the location of a lot of this spaghetti western movies, so it's worth visiting there and having a look. So after Tabernas, we set direction Malaga because our ferry was crossing from Algeciras to, how is it called?
Ceuta.
Celta. Yeah, I don't get the pronunciation right, so good. So we set on our way to Malaga. We needed a spot to stay, but thanks to Tom, who we met in Ireland and hosted us in Ireland, we got an address near Malaga from his brother Tosh. Yeah, his real name is not Tosh, but that's his, let's say, nickname. And he was so glad to see us, and we were so glad to stay there. We really felt at home, and we also had a couple of days to relax. And we had our carnet de passage shipped there, so we have them shipped from Czech Republic, because there's maybe not the only ones, but they ship to whatever address you want, not your home address, or so that made it very practical for us. So they arrived there, the carnet de passage, so our paperwork for Africa was done, let's say. But we sticked around a couple of days with Tosh. I even joined him to a meeting, MC meeting, something I never did before actually, but to be honest, it was pretty interesting and it was fun. It was really fun. I liked it. And because Tosh is trying to start an MC, for now they're a gang, so but he's on the way. He'll get there. So Tosh, good luck, and fingers crossed. So after our pleasant stay at Tosh, we moved on.
Tosh and Beate.
Tosh and Beate. sorry. Beata had to go to work, so we saw her a bit less, but still, yeah. Sorry. Good. So after our stay at Tosh and Beata, we moved on direction Gibraltar. Yeah, we had found a camping there where we could stay, and that wasn't too far from the ferry. Yeah. So we stayed there for a day and visited the city on the Spanish side of Gibraltar. But it was very special atmosphere there. It's a very strange city, but still, it was interesting. It was very interesting. So after the night, spending the night there and having a walk in the city, next morning we set off pretty early, I think, to Algeciras because we had to catch the ferry 10 o'clock. So we got there, everything okay. Border It's not really a border crossing because you cross to Spain. Yeah, that's a small part of Spain on the African continent. So actually the paperwork was pretty simple there. Yeah, just checking the tickets and some minor control on the passports, but not too much. So that went very well. We got on the boat and surprisingly it went very fast. We took the cheapest ticket, but apparently it was a fast crossing. So we only did 1 hour to cross and we were on the other side. Also a very special experience. You arrive in Spain, but it's actually not Spain. It's like a bit like on a different continent. So then we crossed pretty fast actually that part and came to the border around noon or 11 or something.
I think it was like around noon.
Around noon. Also the border crossing, so actually into Morocco, went pretty smooth. The only thing, we had to open our panniers and checking is a big word. They didn't even check, they just wanted to see what was in, and that was it. So paperwork went very smooth.
Yeah, maybe it's worth mentioning that the bikes had the separate lane, so we didn't have to queue together with the cars. And also that there are no documents that you need to fill in advance that will make your border crossing easier. Previously, there was like this Form 16 or something. Now, no paperwork ahead. They just put everything in the computer and you get a small piece of paper that you need to probably present upon exit.
I hope I still have it.
Yeah.
Good. So that was
That's always a problem with small papers.
yeah. No, that's more a problem with me, I think. But okay. Good.
We'll find a way.
So we got on into Morocco. Weather was pretty nice because people warned us that the weather was very bad in Morocco. A lot of rain, and so first day the weather was actually very nice.
Yeah, for the first few hours, because then it really started pouring and we needed to look for some shelter at the side of the road because it was no fun riding, especially that there were a lot of roadworks everywhere, and also because it was the first rain of this season, let's say. So roads were slippery as ice, and Joris was very lucky.
Yeah. So I went into a turn and there was a car coming from the other side. For some reason he stepped on the brakes and he went straight. So like 1 meter in front of me, he crossed. And for me it was difficult to stop immediately because it was so slippery. So it was like holding breath and hoping
that the
nothing
car just
would
passes through.
Yeah. And it did. So
and there was another one that also like spinned
around, but that was a bit further from us, so that was not too bad. But still, it was very, very slippery. It was not a fun ride that day, actually.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Come to Africa, they said. It's dry and warm, they said.
No. And then we arrived in this blue village, Chef Chouan, which is also very nice and very worth visiting, actually. It's a bit touristic, but not too much, so it's not too bad. We also got ourselves a SIM card there, because the internet here, if we want to use our Polish numbers, it will get very expensive. So we bought a local card topped it up so we have some internet.
And the process was way easier than it was in the UK.
Yeah. We didn't need an address. We didn't just pay and you have it. So it's way more simple. Good. We had a very nice, special night. We stayed in a small hotel because we didn't have actually an address to go to, so we picked out a hotel. It was a very special one. We left the bikes outside on the parking, and to be honest, it was very strange. It was one of the only ones hotels or bars who had alcohol. So during the night, it was a very strange kind of people running around. But on the other hand, they also had very good security because of that. And the security guy, was sitting next to our motorbikes.
Yeah,
So
and this was this
actually,
type of guy that you don't mess
around
no,
with
no. You just
So actually, and the bikes were just below our window of the room, so we
it
were
was okay.
we were pretty relaxed leaving the bikes there. So after a good night's sleep there, we moved on and hoped, of course, that the weather would be better because of the bad quality of roads, and but it did. With second day, we didn't have any rain, so it was pretty
we
okay.
didn't have any rain ever
Anymore.
since. Yeah.
No. Since we're here, that was the only day we had rain. Even now, we're in the mountains and it looks pretty good.
On the other hand, we saw some flooded areas and some places that really were affected by the rains,
Yeah, last
where
days.
the roads were covered with some layer of mud coming
Yep.
from the mountains or fields.
Yeah.
So it was true what they were
what
telling.
people
we
were
just,
reporting, we saw some videos and it was pretty heavy. But I think we were lucky. Now for the coming week they give good weather and dry, so I think it's a good time to move into the mountains and go a bit higher. Fez, we forgot Fez, so
where we spent 2 days.
yeah. So we spent also 2 days in Fez.
I mean, like we came there in the afternoon.
And we spent 2 nights, so we spent 1 day in Fez. Also very interesting. Personally for me, I'm now after Fez, I'm a bit fed up with the big cities and people around, so I can use some nature and some peace and quiet, what we found here actually, because it was intense. It was very intense. It was nice to visit and nice to see. I was a bit disappointed with the architecture in Fez because it needs some restoring. Yeah, but the atmosphere was very typical, so it was worth visiting. Yeah. So after Fez, we decided to move into the mountains, have some scenery and some more local and less touristic spots to visit. Yeah. So for example, what's like fascinating for me is stopping in like some kind of village where we had lunch, and really, it's like mingling with the locals 100%. People look a bit strange because they're not used to tourists there, so they look a bit strange, but they're very friendly, actually, to be honest, way more friendly than in the bigger cities. And we were really taken care of. We had very good meat to eat, so and very cheap, way cheaper than in the city. So actually,
in the cities, especially the touristic ones, they really want to rip you off. That's a standard procedure. It hasn't changed, and probably it will not change at all.
No.
Yeah, even like the fact that the honesty could be improved. So
Yes.
we had a hotel that was supposed to be with breakfast, but then it turned out that for breakfast we need to pay separately. Come on, guys, that's not the deal. So it's just
But anyway, after
those
some
small disappointing things that
but after some time I could convince them to only charge half of the breakfast, so it
but
wasn't
then we
too bad.
didn't go for the second one.
Yeah, we didn't go for the second
day.
one. We decided to buy some bread and, as usual, have breakfast on the way or lunch on the way. So, yeah. So in general, it was nice. It was interesting, but I'm fed up with cities for a while, so I think we're on a good way now. Good. So, let's enjoy and let's slowly break up camp and move on.
Yeah, it's high time. What's the time, by the way? It's 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah. People are returning to the village.
Yeah, yeah. Good. So we'll try next time to be a bit faster and record something new, but we'll see. We're not making any promises. Okay. Bye bye.